During this segment of Mastering Decorative Concrete Engraving, we will be reviewing the operation of Engrave-A-Crete tools. Our tools will allow you to cut patterns into existing hard concrete. The process of engraving is easy, and the patterns you will engrave will last for the life of the concrete. All Engrave-A-Crete tools are designed with safety as the #1 priority. Just like any other power tool, it is essential that you use and wear all appropriate safety equipment, including but not limited to eye, ear, and respiratory protection. When making adjustments or changing components of engraving equipment, you must disconnect and unplug the tool from the electric power source. For speed, accuracy, and versatility, the super compact 2500M cannot be matched. In this section, we will review how to operate the super compact and review techniques for many of the most common patterns and designs you can create with it. The super compact is a precision machined engraver made of 6061 aluminum, powered by a 15 amp, 8500 RPM, 60 cycle electric motor. Beyond explaining the super compact itself, we will also demonstrate components of the super compact system, which include center pivot, linear carriage, 4-foot or 8-foot linear track, connecting bar, primary connecting bar, and connecting bar stabilizer. New out of the box, the super compact is adjusted fairly closely to the actual settings that will be needed. As the blade wears and conditions change, adjustments will need to be made. The primary controller of depth is the contour following wheel. The maximum cutting depth is controlled by adjusting the contour following wheel. The ideal cutting depth is between 1/16 to 1/8 inch deep. To increase the depth of cut, use the 3/16 inch hex T-handle to turn the contour following wheel adjusting screws clockwise until they touch the contour following wheel bracket. Counting the number of turns, retract these screws equal to the increased depth of cut desired. Note, 1 revolution of the contour following wheel adjusting screws equals 1/16 of an inch. Often, it takes only a 1-turn adjustment on each screw to visually see an increased cutting depth. Loosen the 2 hex head bolts which secure the contour following wheel bracket. Slide the bracket up until it touches the adjusting screws, and then retighten the 2 hex head bolts to secure the bracket. Do not over-tighten, just snug. To make the cut more shallow, use the 3/16 inch hex T-handle to turn the contour following wheel adjusting screws clockwise until they just touch the contour following wheel bracket. Loosen the 2 hex head bolts which secure the contour following wheel bracket. Using the 3/16 inch T-handle, turn the contour following wheel adjusting screws clockwise to move the contour following wheel bracket to a shallower cutting depth. Note, 1 turn of the contour following wheel adjusting screws equals 1/16 of an inch. Slide the bracket up until it touches the adjusting screws, then retighten the 2 hex head bolts to secure the bracket. Again, do not over-tighten, just snug. Remember, the contour following wheel controls the maximum depth of cut. At times, it is necessary to override the contour following wheel. The easy way to do this is with the secondary depth limiting screw. It is located within the plunger block and can be accessed with the 3/16 inch hex T-handle. The depth limit screw has 2 main functions. The first is balancing the super compact. When cutting, the rear wheels of the super compact may tend to lift off the slab. The reason for this is the engraver likes to use the contour following wheel as a pivot point, especially during track-free operation. The tool is less stable when the rear wheels are in the air. Some rear wheel liftoff can be cured by a slight change in the operator's technique by simply pushing squarely down on the handlebars. Also, to help cure rear wheel lift, with the motor off, push down on the handlebar to make the blade contact the concrete. Turn the depth limit screw clockwise until it touches the frame, then back it off counterclockwise 2 turns. Note, 1 turn of this depth limit screw equals 1/16 of an inch. If you notice skips in the cut, or the cut is shallow in areas, probably the slab is not smooth and good operator technique will be needed to overcome a rough slab. The operator will need to retract the depth limit screw far enough to maintain a consistent depth of cut and apply evenly distributed downward pressure on the handlebar to keep the wheels in contact with the slab.